everyone. Before we jump into today's episode, we've got to give a huge thanks to some of our amazing sponsors who help make this show possible.
First up, here's a big shout out to Bird TLC Rescue, who's all about helping injured and orphaned wild birds. If you haven't checked them out yet, you should.
Next, we want to thank Breon Artistry, Adria's Everything Under One Crown. They're helping us with community events and do job presentations, and honestly, we couldn't do it without them.
Hey, welcome to the Husky Howl, the show where we talk about real stuff that matters to you. We're your hosts, Sarah and Jenna, and today we're diving into something we all go through, but don't always talk about it. The ups and downs and everything in between of middle school life.
Let's be real, middle school can be tough. One day things are great and the next it feels like everything's changing all at once. Friends, classes, stress, self-confidence, it's a lot. But guess what? You're not alone.
In this episode, we're talking about the challenges you face every day and how to deal with them without losing your cool. We've got stories, tips, and maybe even a few surprises. So grab your headphones, settle in, and let's get into it.
Hey Huskies, we have some hobbies for you all that can help reduce stress. First up, knitting. It's calming, rhythmic, and you end up with something cool, like a scarf or a hat. Plus, it's a great way to keep your hands busy while you chill out. Another winner is coloring, whether you grab a coloring book or design your own patterns. Fantastic way to reduce stress and keep your feelings focused and calm. And if you love doodling, how about art or drawing? Let your imagination run wild. And if you're more into puzzles, Sudoku, and crosswords, those are amazing. These sharpen your mind while giving you a little escape from stress. You could also try origami. Folding paper into beautiful shapes is satisfying, and it improves more concentration. Ever wanted to learn a new language? Now's the time. It's challenging but super rewarding. And who doesn't want to say hello in 5 different languages? Plus, learning something new is a great confidence booster, so why not try it?
Here's a joke for you. Why did the student eat his homework? His teacher said it was a piece of cake. Also, here's a fun fact to help you win a trivia game. The letter Q is the only letter that does not appear in the name of any state in the U.S.
Hey Huskies, here's some things you want to talk about, like activities during spring and some delicious treats that other cultures make and how we as a school can include them. Have you ever noticed that there are so many national days in May, including some of our 4 favorites? May 2nd being Chocolate Truffle Day, May 3rd, International Raspberry Day. These upcoming holidays are going to be some interesting days. May 7th, International Teachers Day, National Sock Day being on May 9th, and one of our favorites, Eat Whatever You Want Day on May 11th. I hope you're all looking forward to those upcoming holidays during May and how you might want to celebrate them.
On April 16th, Central Middle School came alive with vibrant colors, music, and the joyful spirit of unity during its family multicultural celebration. The event brought together students, staff, and families to honor and embrace the rich diversity that makes our school community so unique. The school transformed into cultural showcases, each representing different countries and traditions from around the world. Student displays featured cultural information and fun facts, not only about themselves, but also from countries around the world. The performances held in the gym were the highlight of the evening. The audience enjoyed a mixture of dances and music from various cultures. Each performance reflected the hard work and pride of Central Middle School students. The multicultural celebration was not only a fun and festive event, but also an educational experience that promoted respect, empathy, and global awareness. We're so proud of our students for their enthusiasm and grateful to our families and staff for their support. We look forward to continuing this tradition in years to come.
You know who loves spring? Everyone. I think this is a perfect time to talk about some things we love to do around spring and maybe some things we love to share and do with others as well. Some activities that you all might love are decorating eggs, spring cleaning, and even going to watch the Cherry Festival at Osaka Castle Park. If that didn't sweeten your egg, try thinking about this upcoming holiday, Snail Day.
We're taking another pause in this episode to thank more of our school business partners here at Central who help out in many ways.
A shout out to Green Connection. If you love plants, they've got you covered.
Thanks to Chickadee Coffee as well. They're all about good coffee. If you're a fan of that, be sure to check them out.
Shout out to Alyeska Rescue and Training Services LLC LifeWorks too. They're making sure our students and school have support to make our school a better place to be.
Last but not least, a huge thank to the Anchorage Fire Department Station 1. They're helping us out with special events and projects here at Central, and we're so glad to have them as part of the team.
This episode, our crew is visiting the topic of middle school challenges. Middle school is a unique time for students. Everyone's figuring out who they are, what they like, and making new friends. So I'm going to ask our crew to share some of their challenges or hard things as they started middle school. Just so you know, our crew is all 8th graders, so they have a couple of years of experience under their belts. So, Jenna, let's start with you.
One main problem I had when I was starting middle school, which was actually in 6th grade, was finding my way around. I actually went to a 2-story school, and it had one-way hallways and staircases, so trying to figure out how to get from one class to another for the different classes was really hard, and it took me a while.
So finding your way around, not only a physical location, but finding your way around middle school is challenging too. Sarah, what's something that you found as a challenge when you started middle school?
I found that the passing periods were really hard because my school only had 3-minute passing periods, and here we have 5 minutes, and so it's a lot harder to get around. This school's also a lot bigger than my other school, this school's a lot smaller than my other school, and so it was a lot harder to go around.
So did you start at a different middle school than Central? What was your first year here at Central?
My first year at Central was 7th grade. I went at another school for 6th grader.
So we've been talking about getting around the school as a physical location. What about just navigating all of the different people that you met? All of a sudden, you're not in the same classroom all day. You've got changing periods. Zoe, what was a challenge for you when you came to middle school and you had new people in your classes?
For me, it was probably trying to figure out who has the same schedule as me, I guess, and trying to figure out where I could get around. Because I feel like if I know someone has a similar to close schedule as me, I could probably try to follow them. Because I knew that my first day here, it was kind of hard because I went to all the wrong classes all day, and it was just kind of funny because the whole time I wasn't in any classes, so I didn't have any attendance that day.
So nothing like starting off your middle school career with absences on your first day. So did you look for people from your old school as friends? Did you hope that you made friends as you started your new classes? Zoe, I'll let you continue.
I knew some people, and I remember from probably 6th grade, a few friends, and I think that's kind of how I got into the wrong classes because I thought we had the same periods, and so I didn't really understand how it worked. And I think there was a few classes where it was I was in the right class, and then it was I left, and then I went to the wrong one, and it was the wrong number.
JC, let's move over to you. So we've talked about physically finding your way around the building, trying to figure out how your schedule works. But what about a challenge of, hey, I'm JC, this is me. How do you feel? What was the challenge to fit in or feel like you belonged or you were okay with who you are?
When I first came here from Texas, it was very much different from there. I think mostly I just tried to find people who seemed like they'd be a good person and I could talk to them. But I do remember I walked in on my first day and I was in Miss Hoffman's class for first period. And I just stood in the front door being I don't know what to do because she had a substitute that day.
I guess that's one thing that is different because when you go in elementary school, you walk in on the first day of school and the teacher has assigned you a place to sit. And now you're in middle school and you walk into a class and the teacher tells you to find a seat. And what do we all do when we are in a different place? We sit in the back, right? Everyone's afraid to sit in the front. So let's just talk about deciding where to sit in a classroom when you're here at middle school. Jenna, what do you think about choosing a seat when you walk into a new class?
And when you first get to middle school and you have to choose classes, I usually go with people I from younger grades, or if you recognize A1 from previous classes, if it's later in the day, and if it's like the first period and you don't know anybody, at that point, you kind of just have to pick a seat.
So finding a spot to sit with people you know makes sense. But you've all heard the saying, you're known by the company you keep, and you probably want to hang out with friends from 7th grade or 6th grade, or maybe from someplace else that you know them. But how do you decide that those are people you want to hang out with? How do you decide these are people that are going to be good for me?
I think it's mostly about like how you might want to see yourself, and I think maybe hanging out with who you want to become later is a good thing, because I feel like if you want to be doing better in school, you might hang out with people who are already doing good in school. And I think like with having groups in like middle school is kind of hard, because it's like you want to fit in, but I feel like maybe, I guess, trying to be by yourself for the first few days of school is probably better than just trying to fit in, because you're less focused on like everybody else, and you're more so focused on like how you're doing and how you might be able to do later in the year.
JC, thoughts on what Zoe said about, maybe just being by yourself for a little bit, or figuring it out, being comfortable with who you are, and then working to become part of a group? Agree, disagree, your own thoughts on that?
I mean, it is good to like get a sense of the people you're around in like school, but you also do need company, as you're still young and you want to have people you can hang out with, and being in a new place all on your lonesome is sad. So I know I started out here, and one of my friends who's homeschooled, she came up to my house. She just knocked on my door over the weekend, like as soon as I moved in. She's like, "Do you have any kids?" Like, to my family members. I'm like, "Yeah." And then my dad goes upstairs and he's like, "Someone's here for you." I'm like, "I don't know anyone."
And that's kind of an interesting thing too, especially in Alaska, and especially because we have a lot of military students here. You have to put yourself out there more than other students. Maybe you're going to a new school, and that's hard. I mean, even as an adult, I'm like, I'm just going to sit here in the corner till I know who's who here. So what are some things that you do to find a friend? Jenna?
When I have to move and I start a new school to find friends, one way is to find people who have similar interests to you. Like you can talk about pets, or like personally for me, books, or like certain activities like band, or if you're in certain sports. That's a good way to connect and find friends.
Sarah, you want to wrap this up for us? And what's something you do to help find friends, or to even be a friend?
So the way that I try and find friends is by really just doing what I like to do and letting them come up to me and "how are you?" or something like that and greet me, because I can be shy sometimes, and so it's kind of hard to make new friends. But I've gotten a lot better at going out there and meeting new people.
Well, that's a wrap for this discussion about challenges in middle school. We've talked about physically navigating a building, navigating friendships, figuring out who you are. I hope that our conversation helps you to have conversations with your friends, or think about how you can make your middle school experience an enjoyable one.
Hey everyone, we want to take a quick moment to recognize something really important at Central Middle School: our military families. April is the month of the military child. It is time to celebrate and honor all the kids whose parents serve in the military.
Military kids are some of the most resilient and adaptable kids around. They deal with constant moves, long separations from parents, and unique challenges which can be hard for some of us to imagine. But despite all of that, they manage to stay strong, flexible, and often take on extra responsibility at home.
So this month, let's take a moment to recognize the military kids in our communities. You might know a military child here at Central, in sports, or even in your neighborhood. A simple thank you or a little recognition can go a long way in showing them that we see and appreciate everything they go through.
If you see someone wearing purple this month, that's part of the Purple Up campaign to honor military kids. Purple was chosen to represent military kids because it is a combination of all of the colors of the various branches of the military. So hey, why not join in and wear purple too? It's a small way you can show your support.
Big shout out to all the military kids out there. You're amazing, and we see you. Stay strong, and thanks for all you do.
And that's a wrap for today's episode of the Husky Howl. We talked about real challenges that come with being a middle school student, but also had some fun with trivia, celebrated our military families, and learned a few things along the way.
Remember, it's totally normal to feel like you're figuring it all out one day at a time. Everybody's on their own journey, and you're doing better than you think.
If you enjoyed this episode, tell a friend, your teacher, or even your pet hamster. Hey, we don't judge.
Until next time, stay curious, stay kind, and keep being you.